Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Jay. Welcome to another episode of Jay and Dre Show. Hey man, for those of you who don't know, I had a chance to go to Belize this summer with my family, my two oldest sons, to witness my brother and his beautiful wife renew their vows. So today's video is going to be on 5 things that I love about Belize. Before we get started, I just want to let you all know that the part of Belize we went to was Hopkins, Belize. That's important because, of course, it's not one of the bigger areas near Belize City, and also because the majority of the people there were of the Creole ethnic group. From a purely just look standpoint, they look similar to Afro Americans in America. Also, if you know the history of that, when slavery ended in Belize, a lot of the former slaves or whatever were pushed to certain areas, and Hopkins happened to be one of those areas. So with that said, let's get into our list. Number one was the acceptance level. So, we've been to the Bahamas. Bahamas is a bad example, but we've been to Jamaica, DR, Mexico, and a couple other areas. And, I felt at times that I wasn't looked at as being part of the diaspora. When I go places in the Caribbean, Central America, I'm really going there somewhat vacation to have fun, but also on a spiritual journey. And I felt that the people of Hopkins, Belize truly got that. I had, 2 separate occasions while we were there, a guy, he said, hey, he had some like weed baskets or something like that to sell. And me and my cousin, no, we're not going to get it. He said, hey, brother, no problem. Hey, man, I'm glad you're here. While you're here, you're home, you're a family. We all in this together. We all came from the same place. And that really touched me because that's it. If you understand the history of when when the people were taken from West Africa and came to places like Brazil, places like Charleston, South Carolina, Mexico, Belize, and different areas. At the end of the day, we all still one. We all come from the same groups of people. And I truly appreciated that the people of Hopkins, Belize got that. And they let it be known to us that they got that. Number two is the fact that English is the primary language. So, of course, it's a Caribbean or, Central American country. I guess it's both, but English is the primary language. Now, they do speak Spanish, and they do speak their own form of Creole or something similar to Jamaican patois. But, it was easy to communicate because, as I said, English is the primary language. So that made it, it made you feel comfortable. It made it easier to feel, to let your guard down a little bit and kind of get around. Number two was the conversion rate. So the conversion rate is just simply 2 to 1. So whatever you pay in Belize, if something was $20 Belizean, cut it in half, $10 American. That is very important because at certain points we had to use our card. And just to be honest, you want to make sure you're not getting overcharged or anything like that. But when all you have to do is cut a number in half, it's kind of easier to keep track of, what's being taken out. So I enjoyed that as well. Number four, I would say that it was no begging. Once again, we were in Hopkins, Belize. So, I was told maybe Belize City or 1 or 2 other places they named it might have been different. But in Hopkins, no one ever begged us for anything. Once again, as I said in point 1, I never felt that the sentiment was you all are these rich Americans coming here, blah, blah, blah. They're prideful people. And that God just flat out told me we don't do that here. And to be honest with you, it felt good. It felt good to just walk around and look at different shops and look at different vendors and just be treated purely as a customer, not someone who owes somebody anything, if that makes sense. And it's no disrespect to all the beautiful people and the beautiful countries that we visited before, but I can say that, in Hopkins and Belize, it was by far the most chill, when it came to moving around and dealing with things like that. And finally, number five is the landscape. Belize is one of those countries that, from my opinion, is up and coming, especially places like Hopkins. But it was so pristine. I mean, even riding to Hopkins from the airport, it was a 3-hour ride, but I felt like a jaguar was going to jump out. I mean, you can see the creeks flowing, just the trees and the forestry and it just was beautiful. We even went to a waterfall, and it was pristine. No steps, no anything. Kind of had to hike to get there. Very natural. Even on the beach, it was common to see chickens and roosters and things like that running around on the beach. I know where our hotel was at. If you look 100 yards, to the left, I guess that would be south. It actually would have been north, but anyway, if you just look over your shoulder, you can see where the trees came all the way up to the shoreline. It was just pristine. So it made me feel like I wasn't even though we were in a resort, it didn't feel like a resort. It just felt like we were part of the landscape, part of the town, part of the people, if that makes any sense. So I must say that I have to get back to Belize, man. It was dope. The people are beautiful. The culture is dope. I just truly enjoyed myself, and I would recommend Belize 10 times, 20 times, 100 times to any person who's thinking about going somewhere that may be a little bit different. You got to check it out, Hopkins, Belize. Hey, once again, I'm your boy Jay. This is another episode of the Jay and Dre Show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. All right, we about to go. We got the James game. Tell me, did y'all have fun?
Yes, sir.
Did you have fun, Susan? You have fun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have fun, LA?
Yes, sir.
You have fun?
Definitely.
You have fun?
Yes.
Have fun, MJ?
Yes, sir.
Chris, you have fun?
Duh.
Oh, what was the funnest part?
Going in the pool.
Going in the pool.
See the waterfall.
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 See that dancing. So bye, Belize.
My Belize.